is a process that comes with a price tag. The American way, not just from farm to food, but from farm to fuel.
And this is where it all starts, where the seeds are planted and the corn grows. It is the most simple part of a process that has become anything but simple. The production and use of ethanol, once largely considered an environmental one, has become very political, being blamed for everything from the power of the state of Iowa to world hunger.
15% right now of the food increases in this country that you've seen in the last year are directly associated with this policy.
That policy, a subsidy paid by the U.S. government to encourage the production and use of corn ethanol. It lasted 33 years and cost more than $20 billion. Oklahoma Senator Tom Coburn led the charge to do away with the subsidy and won. But the government mandate requiring oil companies to use ethanol is in place. So just about anywhere you go, 10% of what you put into your car is ethanol, even if your car is a race car.
From America's cornfields to America's racetracks, it's a brand new race day.
NASCAR's partnership with ethanol, a sign that the pressure on the corn supply will continue.
40% of last year's corn crop went to ethanol.
That leaves the other 60% to go toward food for people and animals. And with the price per bushel more than doubling in the last 5 years, it's no wonder food prices are going up.
When demand goes up for corn for ethanol, farmers plant more corn to produce that ethanol, but then they can't plant as much of certain other crops.
Research scholar Tim Searchinger says that leads to the shortage and increased prices of other crops. And it's not just this country. In other countries where people rely on cornmeal as one of the only meals for their families, the price hike has been devastating. Ethanol farmers and plant workers argue that the claims are exaggerated, since leftovers are actually used to make high-protein animal feed.
Everything else from the fiber, from the protein, and the fat, the corn oil, is left over. That is left over and made into an animal feed.
Still, it doesn't change the fact that 1/6 of the world's corn supply is burned in American cars. That is enough corn to feed 350 million people for an entire year, raising the question of fairness in the increasing competition between fuel and food. In Iowa, Christine Frizzau, RT.
So how? What would you say if I were to tell you that we had enough food in the world right now to feed all 8 billion people?
I'm not sure about that.
You're not sure about that? Well, the reason why it's not being distributed properly is because all of our food right now, most of it is going towards being converted into ethanol. So that way your gas prices are lower.
Yeah.
Now, the huge debate right now is whether or not the fuel prices are more important than the food prices. At what point does a gallon of gasoline more valuable than a child going hungry?
I think like more food should be like converted to like actually food for like kids to eat instead of like converting to oil. So as the oil price go up, we can like find like substitute like renewable energy.
Right, like solar power,
Yeah,
or hydroelectricity.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.